Have you wondered how to become successful? Have you wondered how successful people think? Over my career, I've had the privilege of interviewing probably hundreds and hundreds of highly successful people. And today, I'm going to share with you exactly how we think. To become successful, I think the very first thing you have to understand is this, that successful people, we think very differently from the rest of the society. Because most of the society, the general public, they are not successful. So the way that we think, the way that we view things are very, very different. And today I want to share with you just some of the distinctions, some of the powerful distinctions that how incredibly successful people think, so you can start today making some new decisions. That's the purpose. Now, I could probably spend a couple hours just talking about all the little distinctions, but today I want to give you three major ones. Here's the very, very first one. Long time ago, I've had the fortune to have lunch with one of the most successful, one of the wealthiest businessmen in Vancouver. And at the time, I think he was worth about $500 million, about $500 million. I've had the privilege to have lunch with him and just kind of pick his brain a little bit and want to learn more about how he does. And at the time, he was, I think, 52 years old. And as we were talking, and I was asking him about like what lessons he's learned in his career and you know what is his view about the economy and about his business, his vision. And you got to understand this person, this businessman is worth $500 million at 52 years old. He's done a lot of different things, and he was so excited. All he could talk about is his vision, what he's gonna build, the legacy, and he's like, it's incredible. Although he's 52 years old, he's as excited as a little kid. And he was sharing with me, I will never forget, he was sharing with me his vision for the next 50 years. 50 years. He was talking about after he's gone, how he wants his succession, and how he wants to make sure the company keeps running, how it's going to donate to charities, like the legacy and its foundations he's going to support, and all these things. And he's just so excited. And I was like, wow, a highly successful guy talking about his vision. He's 52 years old. He's talking about like 100, like when he lives until 100 years old, or if he passes away, what's going to happen. And I'll never forget that. And that's the very first thing that I noticed. Successful people, they think long term. The more successful they are, the longer term that they think. I'll give you a perfect example. Look at someone who's a homeless person. How far do they think? They probably only focus on the next meal. Where am I going to get my next meal? Where am I going to get that few little bit of change? An employee, a typical, or maybe someone who works in more like a manual labor kind of job, right? They're thinking about when am I going to get my check in 2 weeks. They think as far as 2 weeks. A little bit better employee, been thinking about monthly. What I'm going to do, when am I going to get paid? How much am I going to get paid? They're thinking about what I need to focus on a month-to-month basis, right? Or how do I do enough so I don't get fired? That's not a good fucking attitude, by the way. That will sure get you fired. Or a manager of a corporation. They think about quarterly, right? What's my quarterly benchmark? What are some of the quota I need to meet? What's the goal? What's the objective, right? Quarterly. An entrepreneur, a good entrepreneur, might think about a year out, right? In 1 year, what are my goals? What I want to accomplish in 1 year. So they think long term. Me, I think about 5 years out, 5 to 10 years out. So I would have a 10-year plan myself, and then I would like to reverse engineer what do I need to do in year 9, year 8, year 7, am I on track? And then I will break it down into monthly goals, and then I'll break it down into daily goals. If you've read my book, F You Money, you will know I believe in the concept of DIG, daily income goal, DIG, dig. And I break it down into my daily income goal. If you have not read my book, make sure you go to fumoney.com just to download the book. I can put a link somewhere below. It's for free. You can just download that. So, successful people, they think long-term, not short-term. Second way that they think differently is, I believe that successful people, they think accurately. One of the most powerful principles in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Nobody talks about it, but it's accurate thinking. Accurate thinking. It means that they look at things as the way it is, not worse than it is, not better than it is, as it is. Unsuccessful people, very often they are overly optimistic, or they have an illusion, or they, it's going to work out. Yeah, man, I have no business acumen. I'm going to start this business, and within 21 days, I'm going to be racking in $20,000 a month. Although I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's being a fucking idiot. That's what it is. That's overly optimistic. What I notice is successful people, they think accurately. I think most of them, I describe them as what I call a realistic optimist. They have an optimistic view of what they're going to do. They believe in what they do. They believe in the product and services they deliver, but they're also realistic. They look at, you know what, this is where I'm in. This is where I want to go. What are some of the obstacles in between? Right? The three questions I always like to ask myself, it's in my office, in my home office, in front of me, I constantly something I ask myself is not, everything is going to work out perfectly. Everything is going to work exactly the way I planned. Hell fucking no. Three questions I ask myself all the time. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? What don't I know? And what don't I see? So what could go wrong? What don't I know? What don't I see? Those three powerful questions, something I want you to think about. It's not about being negative. Oh, Danny just being negative. It's not about being negative. It's about being realistic, being a realistic optimist, knowing your downside. Because I know if I can think of all the downside, all the stuff that could go wrong, and if I have a plan for it, and I know if those things come up, here's how I'm going to handle it, then I'm okay. Then my chance of success of that particular project, it's a lot higher. Does that make sense? You with me? So that's the second thing. Successful people, they think accurately. And number three, successful people, they think people. They think people. I notice unsuccessful people very often, they're very, very selfish. They only think about themselves. What am I going to get? Right? It's always a very kind of win-lose mentality, especially people are desperate for money. And that's why successful people, we like to do business with successful people. Because we know that the success of that deal, yes or no, is not going to affect our lifestyle. So we don't have that needy energy. You know what I'm talking about? When you deal with people who are needy, they have that desperate, needy energy. And you know what? Needy is fucking creepy. And that's why successful people like deal with successful people. They know your mentality. They know you have more of abundance mindset. And chances are, you might not necessarily guarantee, but you might not, fuck them over a little bit of money, right? Because no fucking bank ever been robbed by someone pulling up in a limousine. Never. It just doesn't happen, okay? Over the years, all the deals I've done, people who fuck me over and stab me in the back, guess what? It's people who are desperate for money, people who are unsuccessful. 9 out of 10 when I do business with other successful people, handshake, it's a simple deal. So, successful people, they think about people. They think about their customers. They think about their employees. They think about their vendors. They think about how can I deliver more value to the marketplace. That's the reason why they're successful in the first fucking place. You think about it. They think about how can I communicate in a way that the marketplace will understand what I'm saying. They don't think about, here's what I want to do, here's what I want to sell, I'm going to shovel this down their throat. Fuck that shit, it doesn't work. They take themselves out of the picture and say, they think about people. How can I deliver value to the marketplace? How can I retain more of my clients? How can I wow my clients? How can I make sure that my employees perform at a high level? How can I coach them? They think about other people. When you think about other people, guess what? It's easy because now they support you. They want you to be successful. They want to support you on your journey. I think that's very, very critical. People a lot of time they talk about self-made, I'm a self-made man, I'm a self-made woman, I'm self-made. millionaire, I don't believe there's such a thing as a self-made millionaire. Every single millionaire that I know, they're all team-made millionaire. They're all team-made. Without their team, they're nothing. Without my team, I'm nothing. I can do what I do because I have a strong team. It's about leadership. So those are the three ways I think successful people think differently from unsuccessful people.